Hey, welcome to the Relationship Hub channel, where I give advice about relationship and dating. So if you like our content, subscribe, like, share, hit the notification button. So without further ado, let's get into our video.
They feel like they should be very desirable. They're good partners. They're successful in the business world. Why is it that I can't keep a good masculine man? And so one of the things, I wrote down 7 reasons why independent women are having issues keeping a man. But one of the things that I want sisters to keep in mind, and brothers as well, is oftentimes in Black homes, young girls are kind of brought up to be independent. We're kind of raised to not depend and rely on a man. And oftentimes, having a good education and a good career is kind of targeted more towards the girls in the families, and boys are kind of like, the standards are kind of lower. It's like just give him a ball, or let him just play. As long as he graduates, he's good. It shouldn't be like that, but I know a lot of families where that's the case, where it's put more on the girl to be the successful one. And so because that is something that is instilled in Black girls at a very young age, we grow up to feel like we have to dominate in that business world. In order to be successful in that area, in the business world, in the workforce, which was created for men by men, we have to carry on masculine male traits. In order to be successful in a world created for men by men, we have to do what men do, think like men, behave like men. And then in return, oftentimes that does bring us success, but then we try to carry that same mentality over into relationships, and it does not work. You cannot think like a man and behave like a man and think you're going to get a good man. So the first common issue that I find within a lot of very independent sisters is that they tend to be very competitive. It's like you feel like you always have to prove how tough you are, how smart you are. You have to prove your worthiness in somehow, and you always feel like you have to try to outdo someone or upscale someone. It's like, yeah, you paid for that, but I paid for all of this. You accomplished that, but I accomplished all of this. You got that education, but I got this education. Like, you always trying to one up somebody, like make them feel like they are inferior to you or that you're better than them in some way. Really, it just seems like you just didn't get enough love as a child, and like you need some type of accolades or something. But that is you have this very competitive energy, and that competitive energy causes you to be less supportive and less encouraging, which is a turn off. No man wants to be with a woman that's very competitive, but that isn't at all encouraging and supportive. Instead of trying to compete with him and try to do better than him, you need to try to be proud of what you have accomplished, absolutely, but still encourage him, uplift him, support him and what he has going on as well. A lot of independent women forget to do that. The second common issue with a lot of independent women is that they are very controlling. Oftentimes independent women tend to be in positions of authority, or they're in a position to where they are in some type of control, even if it's just over their own lives, even if it's being in control of their children, whatever. But they're in a position of control. They're in charge. They're used to dictating things. They're used to telling people what to do. And so you get into a relationship and then you put that on them, like you're their boss or you're their mother, and you try to tell your man what to do, what he needs to do, what he shouldn't do, what he can't do. Instead of offering advice or offering suggestions, you're just like, oh, well, you need to do this, or you should have done that, and that is, you're very controlling in this. And if things aren't going the way you think they should go, oh, there has to be this type of structure, there has to be this type of order, like you just feel like you have to jump in and be superwoman and be in control instead of just chill. You don't have to always try to take on something, just relax. Rest in your femininity. That's one thing about being with a good, strong, mature, masculine man, is that you don't have to be superwoman with him. He can be Superman. You can just rest in your femininity with him. You can go out there and be powerful all day in the world. When you get home, you don't have to do all of that. You're going to stress yourself out. But that's one thing with independent women. They tend to be very controlling. They always want to have a say in something. They always want things to go in the way they plan it in their head, even if they ain't got nothing to do with it. They're just controlling. The next one kind of ties into the controlling one, it's like you have an issue with being controlled, in which I think everyone should have an issue with being controlled. But I think independent women take it to another level. Being in a relationship with a masculine man for a lot of independent women feels like slavery. It's just like, oh, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna go what I want, where I want to go. I'm a strong woman. I'm a grown woman. I make my own choices. I make my own decisions. I can have male friends if I want to have male friends. It's like, ain't nobody gonna control me. It's just like, you do too much. And I get it. Nobody wants to be controlled. However, sometimes it comes off as you just being inconsiderate of his feelings and inconsiderate of the fact that when you're in a relationship with a man, what you do is no longer just a reflection on you. It's also a reflection of him as well. So it's like you're inconsiderate of his reputation. You're inconsiderate of his feelings. You're inconsiderate of the fact that he simply cares about you, and your safety and your respect or whatever. And you just don't care because you just want to do what you want to do so bad. You want to prove that you're such a free spirit or whatever so bad that you end up ruining something with a good man that could have really loved you and protected you and respected you, but you're too busy. Oh, ain't nobody gonna tell me. It's not that serious, Yes, be a grown woman, but oftentimes I feel like men shouldn't have to tell their women what to do. You should have enough sense to know right from wrong. But a lot of times, we're not getting into that. But yeah, that's one. You have an issue with being submissive. That's the real thing. You're inconsiderate of feelings. You're inconsiderate and non-submissive. So the next one also kind of ties into the controlling thing, just a little bit, not really, but a little bit. It's like, when you're a successful woman in the business world, you have to put your ideas out there. You're used to being heard. You want to take initiative. You want to show leadership skills. So, it's like, hear me roar. I am woman. Ah. But because of that, you don't know how to shut up and listen sometimes. And that is definitely an issue. Yes, in the business world, take your initiative, throw out your ideas, be heard. Yes, you are a woman. Yes. Yes. But in your relationship, you don't need to talk all the time. Sometimes you need to shut up and listen because you're not always right. Your ideas are not always that great. And I know that is a hard pill to swallow. It's hard to swallow like that fish oil vitamin pill. It's huge. It's very hard to swallow, but it's good for you. And it's good to know that you need to shut up sometimes and just listen. No man wants to be with a woman that does not listen. She just runs her mouth all the time. It is so annoying. It's so annoying. And so yes, that is something that a lot of independent sisters have in common. They talk way too much. Like, you want to be heard. You want people to know how brilliant you are and what you have to say matters and it's important. And you want people to know, yes, but in your relationship, you need to learn how to listen. It's a two-way thing. Communication works both ways. You can't be the one talking all the time. You have to receive the message sometimes. You have to learn how to just shut up and listen every once in a while. It's okay. It's okay. A woman that knows when to be quiet is a very powerful woman. Okay? I find that you get more out of a man when you say less. This is true. It's very true. The fifth common issue with a lot of independent women is that you give your best self to your job. You put your best efforts towards your career. And so your partner gets all the leftover energy. He gets the leftover time. He gets you when you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you don't feel like doing nothing. Like, I don't feel like cooking, you cook, or let's just order something, I don't feel like cleaning the house, I'll just get it in the morning. I don't feel like looking cute tonight. I don't feel like doing nothing tonight. But you want to make sure that you are well rested so you can perform well at work. You want to make sure you look decent at work. But your partner just gets the leftovers, just like whatever energy is left over from work, and that can be an issue. You know what I mean? You don't even want to dress up and look cute for him, but you darn sure gonna put that face on for work. That's an issue, and that's something that's very common with independent sisters is you don't take the time to be well rested so that you can perform well for him the same way you want to perform well at work. You know, you don't take the time to study him and to study effective communication and study sexual things, you know, whatever is going to make your relationship better, but you'll study everything you need to study in order to succeed at work. You know, that's an issue. Okay, so yeah, your best efforts, all your best energy, best efforts, time, best appearances, everything goes towards work. He gets the leftovers. That's an issue with independent women. Next one is that a lot of independent sisters have an issue with being receptive. You don't know how to receive things. You don't know how to just say thank you and just take whatever a man is trying to give you. Whether he's trying to give you help, whether he's trying to give you money. I know so many women that will go on a date and be like, no, I got it, I can do it. Or a man will be like, hey, you want me to bring you something to eat, or you want me to help you out with this? And he's like, no, I got it, no thank you, I got it. I see it all the time, and I know a lot of sisters feel like they don't want to seem weak, they don't want to seem needy, they don't want to seem like they just can't do it themselves, and that's fine. You know, I get that you don't want to seem like that, but it's okay to let a man know that he's needed and appreciated, you know. And so be receptive, and not just to his physical help, but, you know, to compliments. If somebody gives you a compliment, don't turn the compliment down. Like, oh, you look really pretty today. Oh, no, I don't. I look stupid. I look fat today. Oh, your hair looks really pretty. Oh God, I need to do something with this mess. Like, just take it. Be more receptive. Just receive what it is he's trying to give you. Independent women have an issue with just doing that, and men want to know that they're needed. He's not going to see that he has any space or room in your life for anything if you don't accept his help at all. Like, why is he there? Men that are mature masculine men love to be of service. They love to do for people. They love to be useful and purposeful and productive. They don't want to just be laying around doing nothing and you're doing everything and you don't need them. You know, get you some lazy bum for that. But for a good, productive, masculine, mature man, yeah, you need to be receptive of whatever it is he's offering, you know, whatever it is he's trying to give you, you know. That doesn't mean be greedy with it. That doesn't mean to be needy with it or selfish, or, you know, but be receptive. Say thank you, and yeah. And the last thing I have on the list is that oftentimes independent women, kind of by default, do not really respect masculine men. You don't see a need for them. You don't see the value in them. You don't know how to show appreciation for men because you feel like you can do whatever they can do. So like, what is the point of them? Why do I need a man if I can do this, you know? And so in return, that energy shows. Even if you don't say it out loud, because you think it and you feel that way, that energy comes off as though you don't respect masculine men, you don't need masculine men, you don't care about anything they got going on. It's just, they're just there, you know? And so, you know, and I don't think I really need to get into that one too much because I've spoken on that before. So that's one. Men need to be respected. They need to be appreciated, you know. And it's not just about, oh, the male ego, because as women, we need affection and we need to feel loved and appreciated too. A quick recap out there to all of my independent sisters that don't know what they might be doing that is preventing them from keeping a good man. You might be 1, too competitive, 2, too controlling, 3, inconsiderate and non-submissive, 4, you don't know how to listen, 5, the best of you goes towards your job and your career, 6, you're non-receptive, you don't know how to receive, and 7, you don't really respect, value, or appreciate masculine men. So these are all easy fixes. Not really, because it takes time. But the first step is to just acknowledge that this is an issue that you have, and then you can work on it. It's not something that can't be undone, right?